Why is Pokemon the first movie also called Mewtwo Strikes Back? This is Mewtwo's first appearance, yet it makes it sound like it's at least his second appearance. I wish there could be a Mew 3 for a cool icon idea I had for him. Now, I've always had interesting stories to talk about in terms of Pokemon. Did you know that I've always hated the fact that every Pokemon game has only one file? If you're wondering why this is a complaint, it's because my older brother and I always shared the games that we played growing up, and we usually put our progress into separate files and never the same file in the game. But because Pokemon didn't have multiple files, and my brother wouldn't allow me to play on his files, I never got into the games. And my mom just couldn't buy another copy because we were poor back then and only could afford one game at a time, and it would be redundant to buy a copy of the same game. Wait a minute, we still can't afford copies of a game. Shit. Well, as they say, the more that things change, the more that they stay the same. But when I got into high school, my brother lost interest in the games, but I got into them more. And my high school friends helped me get into the games. I did start with Black and White, but I didn't really get into that game that much. But I did with Pokemon X and Y. My friends and I would play these games for hours battling each other. I had X in case you were wondering, and my main was Halucha. And then I got into Omega Ruby, and then I was into Pokemon even more. It really was the first time I ever got into Pokemon. I played these games for a total of over 140 hours. I know that's not a lot when it comes to true Pokemon fans, but I have a life. And either way, I at least had fun with the games. I haven't really played the games for about 5 years now, jeez. That's mostly because I'm not friends anymore with the people that I played them with, and I really haven't tried to go find other people since. But I do know that some of my current friends are into Pokemon, and maybe someday when I'm interested, we'll battle each other online. That'd be fun battling Chikorita Jesus with his Chikoritas. I at the very least know how the games work, and I have beaten 2 of the games to the very end, being Pokemon X and Pokemon Omega Ruby. I bring up the games because I actually did not watch the anime growing up, and to this day still haven't really seen the anime, and I've only seen scatter episodes. So I didn't have much knowledge going into this movie beyond the characters and their names. Either way, whether or not you would have much knowledge on Pokemon, the first movie is not good. Hell, I'm surprised that people have defended this one. The anime is better than this, and I'm pretty sure the other movies later in the franchise are also better. Let's start with the fact that this movie was made by 4Kids. And yes, I am right about that this time, not like my 2000s list.
While 4Kids was mainly television based, they also did some movies. The most notable one was the Digimon movie. Oh god, this movie. Where do I begin?
Haha, this kid is an idiot. He'll never get to 65,000 subscribers with an attitude and lack of knowledge like that.
Hold on. Isn't that kid with the stupid dialogue there you?
It was a joke, Kai. Kai, you're an idiot.
I was just having fun. I'm sorry.
Actually, what Kai just brought up is a good point of problem that I have for this movie. The dialogue in this movie is stupid. And the worst of this is definitely from Brock.
This lunch is gonna be just perfect for you, Ash. It's my lazy boy no-chew stew. I should have known there was something fishy about them besides the way they smell. Nurse Joy and Officer Jenny are really great. They just keep getting more beautiful every time I see them.
I should say that 4Kids ruin everything that they touch, but you do know what a Pokemon they have contributed, right?
I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was.
You'd think with them handling Pokemon mostly fine in the past that they could handle their very first movie well, but no, they can't. A lot of this movie's problems are execution issues. It also has ideas that need a couple of rewrites. Okay, so this movie has Mewtwo being controlled by evil humans, and he escapes their evil experiments on him. And this has him believe that the human race is evil and that he wants to wipe it out at least first, but then later he gets a realization that it would be better to do a role reversal. And you know what? That's a good idea. That actually would have been a more interesting movie. Imagine in the first half of the movie, we see the humans actually be abusive to their Pokemon. Like when they lose or on a daily basis. Some would notice this, but not everyone would. Hell, maybe Ash could have been abusive a bit to Pikachu without even realizing it. And then Mewtwo could have been the wake-up call to have the Pokemon rise up. And then Mewtwo for fun could have used Brock as a start, and then Brock's one move would be Kick. And then Brock would have said something stupid like the kicking was good. That could be an interesting idea. Pokemon rising up, creating a revolution started by Mewtwo flipping the roles of humans and Pokemon. That I would watch. And the solution? Well, Mewtwo could do this because he would believe that the humans abused Mew and that humans can't be trusted. We can learn that Ash finds Mew towards the beginning of the movie and that Mew is trying to find his way home or that he lost someone. And that Ash would take care of him. When Mewtwo realizes that Mew is perfectly fine, that's when he realizes that humans can be trustworthy with Pokemon. I'm surprised that that idea hasn't been tried out yet. That plot right there feels more fitting for a movie than the actual plot that we were given. Hell, the alternate plot that I suggested could have Pikachu turn on Ash for a bit, before they go back to being friends, of course. And that's mainly my big problem with this movie. With Space Jam, they at least used the potential that they had. But this Pokemon movie had a lot of potential, but it just needed a rewrite or two in the direction that I thought out. So what do we get instead? Besides the 4 kids dialogue,
Ash is determined to become a Pokemon master, and as always, he's ready to endure any hardship.
ah yes, because 4 kids does not understand the meaning of animation, or that people older than the age of 10 could enjoy animation or Pokemon. Seriously, this does bother me. Okay, all people listening, animation is a visual medium. You can actually tell stories without the need of dialogue or sound. This isn't like radio where you do need people speaking or at least music. Not much actually happens in the movie, to be honest. Mewtwo hates humans, Ash goes to a special island about Mewtwo, Mewtwo realizes that humans and Pokemon can get along with each other. Though during the movie I have actual complaints, like how the cop that barely even tries to stop the children from entering the dangerous water, and the acting for her being not the best. And some of the dialogue of this movie is a bit suggestive and dark. Listen to this line here.
Only the trainers capable of braving the storm have proven themselves worthy in my master's eyes.
You hear that? That means that a lot of actual children died. Then again, this wouldn't be the first Nintendo product having children die, or even the last. So maybe that's normal for them. It's just still a dark thing to think about. And the Nurse Joy choice I found to be very obvious, and I guessed it right away on my first viewing of this. But then there's that infamous scene with Ash dying. Alright, I want you to listen very closely to the dialogue here.
The water of their tears somehow restored the lives lost in the storm.
The exposition of that is so that when Ash dies, he can only be revived if the storm is still going on. When he does die though, it's shown that there is no storm and that it's actually quite sunny out. So by the movie's logic, not my assumption, Ash should be dead. And before you say, they can't kill off a child, Nintendo has done that before. Oh, and there's also that shitty cliche of the death fake out, even though that all of us will one day die. Can we please stop doing this? Fuck, if you wanted to, you could have given Ash a full restore. Also, movies that are part of TV series really need to stop doing fake out deaths, because we, the audience, know that they are going to live. So not only is this death fake out a waste of time, but it is cheating! We know that Ash won't die. But no, on second thought, the worst part of the movie is the fact that Mewtwo wipes everyone's memory out at the end because... Okay, can somebody please help me out on this? Why does Mewtwo wipe out everyone's memories? It makes no sense in context. It makes the characters learn a lesson, forget the lesson entirely. The humans and Pokemon will learn to get along and Mewtwo like that. It also makes the lesson of fighting is bad a waste. Oh god, I almost forgot the shitty moral. Hey, remember when OKKO, that show that constantly had characters fight and use guns, then had an episode saying that guns are bad? Well, the Pokemon first movie did something similar. The literal point of the Pokemon franchise is to battle. That's the point of the video games. That is also the point of the anime. Hell, even Pokemon Go exists for that alone. But no, the movie's message is, fighting is bad.
Now I can see how horrible fighting really is.
Okay kids, get rid of your Pokemon games on your Game Boy Advance. Stop buying the products from Nintendo. Fighting is bad! Look, I get it. I get what this movie is trying to do, but that was a terrible way to word it. We could have had a movie about equality and maybe even a good way to handle racism like Zootopia and learn how to take care of your pets better. But instead we get a movie about a Karen that doesn't get how video games work. So in conclusion, the very first Pokemon movie that I've ever seen was Detective Pikachu, and it's a much better version of this movie than this movie. Pika?